everybody, I'm Joey Evans.
And I'm Chris Yee.
And today, we're taking a look at Wednesday.
My favorite day of the week. Tacos are 2 for 1 on Wednesdays.
That's not true at all.
That's not.
Wednesdays are wacky, tacos are Tuesday.
Okay, what do you eat for Wacky Wednesday? This is unimportant, folks. We're talking about...
That's true, yes.
A game called Wednesday.
Wednesday Creatures Outcasts. This is a card-shedding game. And have you seen this series?
The new one or the original one?
The new one. No one watches the original one anymore.
No, okay, I haven't seen the new one.
Seen the old one?
Also, no. I guess I didn't need to clarify.
You really did not need to clarify. Okay, so this is a card-shedding game. Before we get to what we thought about this, let's take a look at how it's played on a Wednesday. About Wednesday. Okay, we are set up for a game right now of Wednesday Creatures and Outcasts. So pretty much this is a card-shedding game. And it is going to be played over 5 rounds. And you've got a little round score keeper right here. And you're going to have different outcast cards and different creature cards. I'm sorry, not creature cards, but character cards. These are going to be the ones that kind of change how each round happens. So first round you're going to play normally. Here's the way you're going to play the game. The first player to go, right here, these are going to be your discard. So the discard pile, it's a bit weird terminology-wise. These are the cards that are left over from everyone getting their hand of cards. And this is called the discard pile, and you've got the play area here. First person to go is the first person to throw down a 1 card. So a 1 number. Okay, so you drop down a 1. All right, so your option on your turn is the next person going around clockwise has to then go higher than this. So you can go, of course, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or you can take a set, which is a couple of numbers, and place them over here on the discard pile. Those are 2 options. So you're going to keep going up until you get to the highest number, and everybody has to pass. So the next person could go ahead and throw down a 2. And then, now, one thing about this is, some cards have an ability. Everyone's going to have a different player aid right here, and that's going to tell you the ability each one has. For instance, the 2 here is play another card. 4 is take a random card from another player's hand, and then you give them one of their own. 7 is going to be take a card of your choice from the discard pile. You have different ones like 8 here, choose another player, and they take the top card of the discard pile, because the whole idea is, as card shedding is, you're going to try to get the cards out of your hand. Because any of these cards left in your hand at the end of the round are going to be points against you. And the 13 only has an effect if it's here and the Wednesday card shows up over here in the character deck. So you're going to keep going. So say the last person is going to play a 10. Nobody's got anything higher than a 10. And then everyone's going to, well, you have the option too, if you cannot play anything here that is higher, or you can't play a set, or you choose not to, then you can pass. Now, one thing about the sets are here, you can actually take a look here. If you have 3 6s and you play that set over here, then you get to change Wednesday's position in the character card pile, which is right over here. I'll get to that in a moment. And then 4 10s, you automatically end the round. So if you put 4 10s on there. So sets also have abilities. But let's go through these real quick. Wednesday, this is when the round ends. When Wednesday flips over and is here, and Wednesday shows up here, the round is going to end as long as a 13 is not out. Okay, so pretty much, like I said, you can either play here, you can discard here, or you can discard a set, of course, or you can pass. And if you pass, it keeps going around. And you also, once you pass, you have the option to play again next time around if it's still going. You're not always passed for that. Even if you run out of cards, then when you run out of cards, you are still considered in the game because certain abilities like these right here will have you draw more cards. So once everybody passes, then you're going to take these cards, flip them, put them on top of the discard pile, and the last person to play a card is going to play the card again and start the next round. I guess not round, you just keep resuming that same round, you keep going around. Okay, you're going to keep going, and the current round ends when the Wednesday Addams card is shown, or the player sets a set of 4 10s on top of the discard deck, or there's only 1 player remaining with cards in their hand. And in that case, the round is then over. And you're going to go ahead and add up all the values of the cards you have, which are right up here in the corner, and then you're going to go ahead and fill it up, and you're going to play this over 5 rounds. So one other thing now is every round before it starts, you're going to flip over a card, and they're going to add a different rule for that round. All right, so all of these are going to have different abilities here. I'll go through some of them quickly. And also what's nice is, again, the player aid here is going to tell you what they do. For example, this one, cards can only be played in pairs. Then you're going to have Eugene here. And Eugene is you draw a card when passing. This is pretty rough because as you pass, you're going to have to keep getting those cards into your hand. Then you've got Larissa right here. Larissa is going to be, you can only play cards that have the same value. Or you may also, so if they play a 6, you don't have to play a 7, you can also play another 6. And then right here, you can only play odd cards. And then Ajax right here, you're going to skip at least one number, so a 4, you have to play a 6. Then Bianca, all of a sudden you're going to switch, you're going to reverse the order in that. You're going to play cards from high to low. And then Thing, you're going to go ahead and take one card and you're going to place the little Thing token right here on it to the side. And that number can then not be played. And then Yoko right here is going to reverse the order. So instead of going clockwise, you're going to go counterclockwise. And then, of course, Wednesday is going to end the round. All right, so that's it. So then you're going to add up. Once you do 5 rounds, add them all up, count up the points, and whoever has the least points wins. And that is how you play Wednesday Creatures and Outcasts. Let's send it back and see what we thought about it. Okay, so there we are. There's pretty much how to play it.
You're right about one thing, Joey.
Yes.
Today is a Wednesday that we're recording this.
It is.
So, so very simple card shedding game.
Yep.
This has that kind of, and I don't say this disparagingly, it's a very mass market feel to it. The look of the game, the box, cover they chose to go with, and I think that for the most part, this game is going to be very simple, and it fits that kind of niche. I think, or not even niche, broad niche. Don't ask me to say words again.
No, it's. I mean, it's one of those things that people can be drawn to it for the different artwork, as far as especially the characters and stuff. You're going to see them. Now, what the characters do, their little, I guess, the character cards' powers, it's not thematic. I know you have not seen the series, but
I assume you have.
I have.
I assume that Neil makes everyone play in pairs.
That's exactly it. It does not, I mean, I've seen the series. My daughter hasn't because I'm a good parent. But it's one of those that, yeah, it's so the theme is not really there.
Yeah, but if you play 3 6s, then
that is
thing
thematic.
Happens.
Yes.
Theme. The cards are 1 through 10 and 13.
Okay, there are little things like that.
That's about the extent of it.
It really is. It really is. And the artwork is cute on the cards and stuff, but again, it's a card game.
Right.
Now, all that being said, I think as far as playing the rounds, it can be very swingy when it ends. You experienced this firsthand.
Oh my gosh, my first hand playing just my daughter and I, and the first event card that comes up is Wednesday. End of the round. Like, all right, kid, count up all the cards you haven't played yet. Add them up.
Which is funny. During the overview, the top one is your score check, your score with your daughter. And I'm like, I tried to hide that so people wouldn't think he's really bad at this game. So it's like Wednesday could just show up in that awkward moment of almost a hidden movement where it's like, huh,
oh,
there they are.
Yeah, there you are. Or it could be what happened last time we played this, where it was the bottom card, multiple hands in a row.
Yes.
And so most people had almost shed out at that point. So you got to be okay with the fact that it's going to be kind of random, right?
It is. And there is some strategy in this as far as like, do you kind of slowly play the lower cards to get more in the round, or do you drop those big cards? Mm-hmm. So then you're hopefully going to block everyone else out and be able to start the next hand.
Right.
So there is that bit of strategy to it.
There's not a lot more than that.
Okay.
But I mean, the little, I appreciate that there's little things like, oh, if you play the 3 6s and you're maybe trying to draw into them, or someone hands you one and you're like, well, I've got 2 of them now. Maybe I'll get a third. You can play that as a set and kind of figure out where you want to slot Wednesday in that character deck. But it's not a lot beyond that.
No.
Which is fine for a mass market, and I don't say that disparagingly, mass market game that's just like a few steps above Uno.
It really, and that's probably the audience it does hit. I have played this before with like gamers and non-gamers, and it's one of those that it's fun. The little player powers, once you get them, the icons, everyone has a player aid, so they're pretty simple. You know, playing them out and doing that. So there's nothing complex about this game. I do like the fact you flip those character cards, and it does change the feel of every round.
There's a few that I think are a bit, I mean, just play counterclockwise. That felt like we needed one more power. There's a character in the show. He's counterclockwise man. I don't know, right? But some of them are fun in that they change I wouldn't mind cutting down the character deck a little bit and just kind of making it so that even if Wednesday's the bottom card, it doesn't feel like a drag-out fight at that point. And then I've never seen the 4-10s happen.
No, I have gone for it before. I've had 3. I'm like, I'm going to somehow pull that out, and I never get the card to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that, again, is very swingy in that as well. And the terminology can throw you off, too. I know the discard pile being face down over here was kind of hard to wrap your head around.
It's the draw pile. Yeah, it's very strange to me.
It is.
I think one of the biggest flubs with this is the rule book.
Yeah.
There's a particular thing, right? If the 13 card is on the top of the played pile when Wednesday is revealed, it negates the hand from ending immediately. As is written, that's exactly the rule. But the problem is, when everyone passes, you don't have a played pile anymore. It goes away. And then, like verbatim from the rulebook, then reveal a character card. So it's written wrong. I thought, okay, there must be some other way where a card is out there. I think that's the issue, is like it tries to be clever, and there's a few little things where, like, well, for a very simple Uno-esque game, okay, well, this event card's out there, and now there's little cards with some power. You know, how do these things kind of coincide? And the rules could have been explained better. There could have been a fewer, like little misses here and there. But it's a very simple game, and it is, at the end of the day, it's kind of fun to play. It is. So where are you coming down on it? For me, this one's a 6. I think that, for what it's going for, target audience, good. I think that this is not. There's so many worse games out there that slap a TV show or something like that onto a deck of cards and say, buy this. Why? Because it has that show that you watch on it. This is a not bad shedding game. I like the little scoring up at the end. 5 rounds is enough time that it doesn't feel too long, and it gives time for some of those scores to kind of balance it. You might have had one really terrible hand, and then you might have 3 in a row that you shed out, and you're like, woo, no points. So it's good, but I'm not going to seek it. It's a 6 out of 10.
It's a good way to verbalize it in the fact that I guess the reason I like this more, I'm kind of a bit higher to 6.5, because I've seen so much IP mining to where it's like, okay, we're going to throw this IP on this just horrible game, and you're going to buy it. And this one, I grabbed and I was like, this is actually, I enjoy this game. Mm-hmm. Is it going to be like one of those really heavier ones in the gaming world? No, but this is, I think, a great bridge game. I enjoy it. A bridge as far as like bridge between non-gamers and gamers. It's not similar to bridge. But I'm just got to clarify that for you bridge players. But yeah, it's a great, I enjoy it. Again, 6.5. I can see this going up because my family does like it, because unlike some people in this room, we've seen the show. So we get it. We get it when they're like, oh, you have to play a pair. It's because she shows up and she likes pairs.
What's the name of the character that does that?
Lucy.
I mean, I can't tell you that you're wrong. I don't know the show.
You don't even know the answer. Okay, so here we are on a Wednesday reviewing Wednesday. I'm Joey Evans.
And I'm Chris Yee.
And I'm going to go watch Wednesday.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us for that video. If you haven't yet, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hey, make sure you check out what's happening, where I'll cover an app on an iOS or a Switch device, and you can check it out along with me. Thanks very much. You've been watching The Dice Tower.